Now, next, our topic is absolute magnetic permeability and relative permeability and classification of the material on these parameters, means magnetic permeability. Okay, so next our topic is absolute permeability, magnetic permeability and relative permeability. Absolute permeability is represented as mu, relative permeability is mu r, and permeability of the free space is mu 0. Okay, this is absolute permeability of the magnetic material. This is relative permeability of the magnetic material with respect to the air medium, and this is magnetic permeability of the, this is air medium, this is magnetic medium, and this is the relative permeability. Now next, we define these parameters. Okay, suppose we have a magnetic field of intensity H, of strength H. So this is our original magnetic field of strength H, and you know, as there is a magnetic field, this magnetic field is represented by magnetic lines of force. Suppose this is in air medium, so number of lines of force in air medium surrounding a point per unit area is defined as B0, which is equal to mu 0 into H. Okay, what is that? Again I repeat, H is the magnetic field intensity or magnetic field strength. H is unit is ampere per meter or Oersted. This is in SI and this is in CGS or electromagnetic unit. Okay, now as there is a magnetic field strength of intensity H, that means this field have some lines of force, because every magnetic field there is lines of force. So number of lines of force per unit area surrounding a point is defined as mu 0 into H. Okay, this is in free medium, air medium. So this mu 0, which converts the magnetic field intensity into magnetic lines of force per unit area, is called magnetic permeability in free space, and it is defined as 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. Okay, in SI, 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. That means if we have lines of force per unit area given, then if we divide this by magnetic permeability in free space, we get magnetic intensity at that point. Okay, so these are the relations between B0, mu 0 and H. Now suppose in this region where H is exist, we place a magnetic material, a magnetic sample. So this is a magnetic sample, and we know this magnetic sample has number of atomic magnet, and these atomic magnets are randomly oriented within the sample. But since this sample is now placed in external magnetic field, that is, an external magnetic field is present at this region. Due to this external magnetic field, every atomic magnet feel a torque, and due to this torque, each atomic magnet align themselves parallel to the magnetic field. That's why in my last video, as I have discussed, that this side of the sample, get S pole induced, and in this side N pole induced. So this is resultant S pole. That is, there are so many atomic S pole, and sum of this atomic S pole gives us the total resultant S pole strength something, say M. This is resultant magnetic north pole. That means this atomic magnet, this sample now induced magnetization. That means this sample now becomes a magnet. This side becomes S and this side become N. And in my first or second video I have discussed, inside the sample, inside the magnetic sample, the lines of force originate from S pole and it ends to N pole. That means it originates from S pole and it ends to N pole. That means there are some more lines of force originate or exist inside the sample. Some more lines of force. These lines of force, that's are given shown by the green color. These lines of force are due to its own magnetization. The sample itself get magnetized. Therefore, this side becomes S, this side becomes N. And as you know that for a magnet, the magnetic lines of force originate from S and it ends to N inside the sample. So inside the sample, the number of lines of force increases, or you can say that initially, in absence of this material inside the within this region, the number of lines of force per unit area is B0, and B0 when divided by mu 0 we get H. But now number of lines of force increases, and now the lines of force becomes B. Total lines of force now becomes B, not B0, B. B is greater than B0. Okay, so B0 corresponds to yellow color lines and B corresponds to yellow plus green color lines. So initially only white color. Initially only white color lines of force are present there, but due to this presence of this magnetic sample, extra green color lines of force exist due to the magnetization by itself. Therefore, at this region, total lines of force become increases. So initially only white color lines of force are there, but now white and green both color lines of force are present there. That means B is greater than B0. This is lines of force per unit area. This is lines of force per unit area. This is in free space, but this is in inside the sample. Okay. Now that B, when you divide it by H, you get the magnetic permeability of the sample. This is absolute magnetic permeability of the sample. Okay, this is absolute magnetic permeability of the sample. Okay, then we have B is equal to mu into H. Okay, initially we have B0 is equal to mu 0 into H, but now B is equal to mu into H. Initially B0 is equal to mu 0 into H, but now B is equal to mu into H. So initially number of lines of force at this region in absence of the material is B0 per unit area, which is given by mu 0 into H. But now the lines of force within the sample, total lines of force, that is original magnetic lines of force, original magnetic field lines of force, plus material itself lines of force. So total lines of force now increases, and that increased value of V, that is V0, now increased to B, and that B is equal to mu into H. Okay, so mu is the magnetic permeability of the sample. Okay, so how much increased, how much value of lines of force increase in presence of the magnetic material in this region. So initially this is lines of force is number of lines of force B0 when there is air medium, but now in place of air medium we place magnetic material, magnetic sample. So now lines of force per unit area is now become B. So B by B0 is nothing but mu h by mu 0 into h, is cancel, so mu by mu 0, and that is called relative permeability. Okay, so this is called relative permeability. So B by B0, that is actually mu by mu 0, that is called relative permeability. Okay, now on this value mu r may be number one very greater than 1, then that type of material is called ferromagnetic material. Ferromagnetic material, that means lines of force increased by very high value. Okay na, you see B by B0 is B by B0, that is mu r. When mu r is very greater than 1, that means B by B0 is very greater than 1, that means B is very greater than B0. That means lines of force when in air medium and lines of force inside the sample, lines of force is very greater than the lines of force in air medium. That means this type of material is called ferromagnetic material. Ferromagnetic material, for example iron, cobalt, nickel are this type of material. Number 2, mu r is only greater than 1 but very positive value, but maybe it is 1.12 or 1.08 or 1.21 etc. Then this type of material are called paramagnetic material. Paramagnetic material, this type of material is paramagnetic material. Paramagnetic material, for example your paramagnetic material is copper, aluminium, oxygen. You can say example is copper, aluminium, oxygen. Okay, okay, and you have to understand another type of material for which mu r is less than 1. Oh my god, less than 1 means B by B0 is less than 1, that means B is less than B0. That means lines of force when in air medium, suppose in a particular region if there is lines of force in air medium is 1000, but in presence of the sample your lines of force now becomes 980. So what would be the ratio? Your ratio becomes 980 by 1000 is equal to 0.98. That means lines of force decreases instead of increases. Instead of increment, lines of force now become decreases. Lines of force decreases from the original value. Okay, then that type of material is called for example its value may be 0.8 or 0.92 etc. So this type of material are called diamagnetic material. Diamagnetic material. So on the basis of mu r, you can classify the material into 3 categories. One is ferromagnetic material for which mu r is very greater than 1. Mu r is very greater than 1 means B is very greater than B0. That means number of lines of force inside the material is very high. When there is no material, that means in air medium. For mu r is very just greater than 1 means 1.12, 1.08, 1.21, this type of value. Then this type of material is called the paramagnetic material. For example copper, aluminium, oxygen, and this type of material are called diamagnetic material. For example, examples are say you can say magnesium. Okay, magnesium. Okay, magnesium. Then your gold. Then your silver. This type of material are called paramagnetic material. Sorry, diamagnetic. Zinc. One more example is carbon dioxide. Okay, this is a gaseous paramagnetic diamagnetic material in gaseous state. This is a diamagnetic material. So let's try to understand what would happen for paramagnetic material. Suppose in free space your lines of force is 1000. Then in presence of paramagnetic material your lines of force becomes 1108. Then what is the value of mu r? Mu r is B by B0. That means 1108 by 1000. That means 1.108. Okay. So these are the characteristics. That means initially we have 1000 lines of force in a particular region, and if you place a paramagnetic material in that particular region, your lines of force increases by 1108. That means 108 number of lines of force increases per unit area. Okay, let's draw. Let's draw this concept. Suppose you have this is your original magnetic field. Okay, this is your original magnetic field. So lines of force is per unit area is V0. Now suppose a paramagnetic sphere is placed in this region. A paramagnetic sample is placed. Paramagnetic spherical sample, say sphere, is placed in this region. Then you see what will happen. This lines of force, originally there is in this region there is originally there is 1, 2 and maybe 2 lines of force, but actually due to this paramagnetic sample, since mu r is just greater than 1, this lines of force increases. That means these lines of force come closer to the and enter into the parametric sample. This will again go this way, this again go this way, which initially go outside the sample, but now it will enter into the sample. Okay, and now this again try to enter into the sample. Okay, so this thing happen. You see number of lines of force 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are come closer. So this is for paramagnetic material. Okay, now if in case of what would happen if we place a diamagnetic material in this region? Suppose this is your original magnetic field. Suppose this is your original magnetic field. This is your original magnetic field. Okay, this is your original magnetic field. Okay, and you place a diamagnetic sphere in this region. Okay, in this region you place a diamagnetic. So originally this is your original magnetic field. Their lines of force look like this. So they originally go this way, but since there is a diamagnetic sample, and for diamagnetic mu r is less than 1, that means these lines of force go outside. These lines of force which initially present there, but it now go outside. This go in this way, these go in this way, and these go outside, and these go outside. Okay, so number of lines of force inside the sample decreases. So this is for diamagnetic material and this is for paramagnetic material. This thing happens in case of diamagnetic and paramagnetic material. But if you place a ferromagnetic material, then the lines of force increases by 1000 or 2000 times, because for ferromagnetic material mu r is very greater than 1. That means mu r say like 1000 or 1500. That means initially if there is 4 or 5 lines of force, but if we place a ferromagnetic material over here, then the number of lines of force will be 6000, 7000. So it cannot be we can't draw this type of lines of force, have a huge number of lines of force in a very small region. That's why we not supposed to draw this lines of force inside the ferromagnetic material. We only show you the how things happen for paramagnetic material and diamagnetic material. Okay, try to understand this.